Alrighty, welcome back everyone. Scarland here bringing you a new Neverwinter video, and today, as the title suggests, we are going to be talking about the newest event in the game, Harvester of Nightmares. As you can see, it is right here. It is just started today, so as filming this video, it is November 12th of 2020, so if you're watching this video in the future, you'll have a reference point. So it is a 20-day event. Now, if you're not familiar with Harvester of Nightmares, unfortunately, it is a reskin, essentially, of Hell Pit. So if you're not familiar with Hell Pit, you can search my videos, and I did a preview and discussion video on Hell Pit. So essentially it's the same exact thing, it's just differently skinned. There are some minor differences. For instance, Hell Pit was completely solo. You would just go in there and get your completions, and you were good to go. It was solo. Well, Harvester of Nightmares is group. So if you go to your queues, for instance, and then it's listed right here, it is a five-man queue. However, you should be able just to queue into it privately, but I guess you can't for whatever reason. I thought you could queue it privately. So you do have to public queue this, it looks like, or I'm sorry, I think you have to have the quest first. So once I get the quest here, this should come up, but it is right here in the event. I think that's the problem here, is that you have to have the quest. So we are right here. Let's talk about the rewards. Again, if you aren't familiar with Hell Pit at all, we could go over this very briefly. It's all the same currency. So for the participation, you can see here, we're not going to go in depth on this, but they did add mount upgrade tokens now that those are a thing. So now those are in the store. You'll notice that I have 84 of these already. That's because I've done the two previous iterations of this. We've had 2 Hell Pits so far. This will be the third time this event has came around, thus leading to the third time overall. Now, these are the main focal points here, the overloads, and these are from the challenge. You'll notice I have 0 of these because I've spent them all on the overloads previously. So the Rage of Flames is 5% damage, critical strike accuracy, action points, physical damage reduction, maximum hit points, and then finally critical avoidance and deflection. Now again, these are overload slots, so they have a combat time of only 10 hours, and then they delete themselves. They're just normal overloads. But these are by far the best overloads that we have in the game currently, and you can only get them by doing this event. Now finally, we have the achievements. This is what you would do. This is what you would receive for doing the complete event. And then, of course, this is the top-end prize here, is the Golden Warhorse. It is account-wide now. And then that's what it looks like. That's what it does. Blah, blah, blah. It's critical avoidance on it. It does have a 3,000 magnitude single target attack. And like I said, you need 5 of these. So if you're current in your game, then you should have at least 2 of these on console. You'll have 3 of these on PC because PC already had their Harvester of Nightmares. By the time this is over, obviously I will have 3. And then, of course, simple math says I will have to get 2 more of these events completed. So I'm assuming, we don't know for certainty, but they're going to be 2 more of these events sometime next year. Is it going to be spring, fall, winter? I don't think it'll be at the beginning of the year because we have this one at the end of the year. So the next time we see one of these events is most likely going to be spring. So you're looking at, probably not toward the end of the next year until anyone's finally able to get this free legendary mount. And it is what it is. Are we going to see Harvester of Nightmares again? Are we going to see a third version of this now in-game? Are they going to come up with a new one now? Who knows exactly what they're going to do? Are they going to just keep pumping these out at this point? Because, like I said, if you've already missed out on the previous 2 versions of this, then you have to wait even longer, anticipating that Cryptic does put more of these into the game. So, yeah, I don't know exactly what they're going to do. I don't know what the future pre-tells, but it is what it is. So that's the rewards if you're unfamiliar. If you're a new player, you don't know anything about Hell Pit, again, I suggest you search my videos, go watch the video about Hell Pit. So essentially, you talk to the NPC here, go through the dialogue, and then you get this dream-filled cache when you finish this. So now that we have the quest, we should be able to queue for this then. Like I said, it is a 5-man. However, you should be able to go in here and solo this. If you're an endgame player, you shouldn't have a problem with this. I could probably go in here and solo this without any issues. However, for purposes of the video, we're going to go in with a group of 5. So one more thing I want to discuss before we go ahead and do that. Again, Hell Pit or Harvester of Nightmares, whatever you would like to call this, it does last 20 days. However, you only need to get 14 days to get the maximum reward. So to get that token of achievement, you only have to do 14 of the 20 days. Now, at the same time, shout out to Loey, shout out to Strive, shout out to Doubt, shout out to all my teammates that are standing around right here. You can also go over to the Zen Market. If you go down here, this is the Nightmare full buyout, okay? So what this essentially means is that you can buy this on day 1 and it will give you all 14 days of your completion. You won't have to run this every single day. You'll be 100% done. Now at the same time, this also is prorated. So what that means is if I manually farm the first 7 days, then this will go down in price because I only need another 7 days. So you can pay the full $25 up front, 2,500 Zen, buy this out on day 1, be completely done with the event, and don't have to go in there and do your daily mission every single day. Or you can do X amount of days, and then when you feel like you don't want to grind it anymore, then you can purchase this. Or, of course, you can do it 100% for free and just do all 14 days, but, real life happens. Maybe you miss a day or you miss several days, and then, at least you have this option to buy it. So that is basically Harvester of Nightmare. Again, it is just a reskin of Hell Pit, and I can expect Cryptic to do further iterations of this event overall. So we're going to go ahead and jump into this and then see what happens. Alrighty, chat. So this is week 1 of Harvester, so I haven't done it yet. So this will be the first time you're watching me do it. We're actually just 3-manning it. Like I said, you should be able to solo it if you're an endgame player without any issues. You can't skip any of the cutscenes, it doesn't look like. So yeah, we're just gonna kill everything, I guess. I'm not sure exactly. So we'll just run through this. And then, of course, if you're unfamiliar with how Hell Pit worked, so there is 21 days total, and it's split into 3 tiers. So each tier is supposed to progressively get harder. So the first week is super easy, the second week becomes a little harder, and then the third week is technically like the boss battle. But like I said, theoretically, even as an endgame player, you should be able to solo everything, even the tier 3, the last week of the event. So there shouldn't be any issues. If you want to do this in a group, however, with your friends, then, more power to you. You want to just make sure you're essentially knocking out those 14 days so you get the full reward. So you are going to want to do this either manually every day. You can buy the Zen bundle or whatever you choose to do as your playstyle permits. So let's just run through this. It's pretty easy. I mean, I'm not going to lie. This stuff is just falling over dead, essentially. So yeah, if you're an endgame player, there's no reason you definitely can't solo the first week of this. There's no timer or anything listed, so I don't know how long this lasts. It looks like we're just killing waves of waves. It just says cleanse the nightmare, so there's no real timer or anything. I guess it'll just stop when it stops, I guess. We'll see how long this takes. Which I'm surprised they didn't put a timer or anything. It should tell you exactly what you have to do. So that's that first phase, I guess. So do we just move on to a next phase then? I wonder how many of these you have to do. Probably like 3 or something? Alrighty. I don't know what's happening. I got some evil eyes on my screen. Alright. Looks like we're just going to kill more waves of mobs, essentially. I wonder, you probably have to do this like 3 times, I'm guessing. So this should take about maybe 5 minutes total, give or take. It's just weird that they didn't actually give you a timer or like X amount of enemies you have to kill or how many waves are left or anything. Because, if you recall from Hell Pit, there was a timer. It told you, you know, what you were doing. You had X amount of time to kill all the mobs, etc., and then you would move on. So, kind of a little sloppy here that they don't even have a timer put on. You're just killing the mobs until the mobs stop spawning, essentially. Again, pretty easy. We're pretty much one-shotting everything for the most part. I'm sure if you brought a Zuna or chicken build in here, this wouldn't even be an issue. I'm sure the companion builds that everyone's using right now would just slaughter everything in here. So, again, to reiterate, you are going to be doing this for 14 days total for maximum rewards. So whether or not, remember, the event lasts 21 days. You only have to do 14 of those 21 days. So if you miss a day here and there, just make sure you do get those 14 days. Or, of course, you can, again, buy the buyout pack from the Zen store. Looks like this wave is actually longer. So maybe if there is a third wave, maybe there's a boss or something. There we go. So let's just see. Do you have to do 3 of these? I'm not sure. We'll find out. Step into the sleeper's mind. Let's see what we got. More waves, probably. Oh, no, it is a boss, actually. So we got the Nightmare Black Dragon. Alright. And there we go. So that should be day 1 complete. So let's hop back in the portal here. And then we'll finish up this video. So this is, again, Harvester of Nightmares. It's technically the newest event they've put in the game. However, again, it is sort of a reskin of Hell Pit. So how new is it? I mean, it's new graphically. It's all new assets, right? Everything is a new asset. So we'll go ahead and get this. We got our 2 tokens of participation. And there you go. That should be it. So you have to do that every single day, guys. Every single day. Like I said, you want to make sure you get all 14 days. So, that's that. Now, it does look like you can keep doing this. Unlike Hell Pit, there wasn't a thing of Hell Pit that you could keep doing this. However, it does look like you can just keep doing this. So, when you get this box, you can get between 2,500 and 10k rough AD, as well as gemstones. Additionally, you have a chance to get a max of 2 token of participations. Now, these rewards will also go up. So, this is new with Harvester of Nightmare. This wasn't available during Hell Pit. So this is specifically new to Harvester, and this is to encourage people to keep doing this, because again, Hell Pit was 100% solo, so now Nightmare, Harvester of Nightmares requires a group, theoretically. I mean, you can solo it, but, so they need people to keep queuing in for it. So there is another quest. You should be able just to keep doing this, I would imagine, as many times as you want. So there is that. You can pretty much farm this to a degree. If you guys have any questions, concerns, comments, go ahead and leave them below. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. And yeah, that's all I got for you today. We'll see you real soon.